This is Monsgeek M2. It is a 1800 layout custom mechanical keyboard. The barebone kit will set you for around $110. Yes, you've heard it alright, $110 for 1800 layout custom mechanical keyboard. Seems like Monsgeek is really pushing the boundaries here. This keyboard comes with 3 color options to choose from. There's silver, black and purple. The one I have here is in purple colorway. It is more of a lilac if you ask me. The Monsgeek M2 shares the same exact design principle with its older sibling, the Monsgeek M1. The difference between the two siblings is minus the rotary knob and a bigger size. The size difference is due to the additional numpad on the right hand side. It can be quite handy sometimes, especially for someone that requires a numpad on their daily use. And it can get in the way of your mouse movement, especially if you are a gamer. But for me, I just don't care much. I just like the aesthetics of the additional numpad, making the keyboard looks complete with all the keys present. For $110, you'll get a barebone kit which comprises of the case, a PCB, a set of PCB mounted stabilizer, a polycarbonate plate, a bunch of foam, which includes the PE foam, plate foam and case foam. Monsgeek even include the tape mod if you prefer the tape mod sounds, some extra screws and whatnot, and a cord cable. The case is made from aluminium. The top and bottom part of the case is held together with 10 head screws. Once opening up, you are able to access the inner part of the case, which houses the PCB, the plate, and etc. On my unit, I didn't notice any rough cuts or color blotching. The finishing texture has this kind of a matte feels to it. I always prefer a matte finishing over the glossy finishing, because I find that the glossy finishing tends to smudge easily with our fingerprint. At the bottom part of the case, you'll find this PET insulation layer installed. The purpose of this insulation layer is to eliminate any chances of shorting out the PCB whenever the PCB is in contact with the case during each key press. And you will find this easily removable side profile accent piece at both sides of the bottom case. This accent piece slits right onto this slot here and sandwiched together between top and bottom case. Along with the release of this M2, the side profile accent piece will be available to be bought separately in different colors. The back side of the case is kept to a simple and clean looking, where you'll find the engraved Monsgeek logo and a sticker. The front height of this keyboard is roughly around 2.5 cm. For some that are used to type on a lower typing angle, they may need some time to adjust to this. The PCB design is quite straightforward here. There are no flex cut on it or whatsoever. It's using a Kale hot swap socket with south-facing orientation, and it is compatible with QMK NVR for any sort of customization and RGB configuration. This 2mm PCB also equipped with customizable per key RGB. Same as its older brother, this keyboard uses a gasket mount approach. This silicone gasket jacket acts as a gasket for cushioning down each keystroke. This should make each of the key press softer while typing. That is what the gasket is supposed to do on paper. However, there isn't much of a flex present on this board. The bounce is cut short because of the PCB is in contact with the case. This is due to the tight clearance of the bottom case. And that's the reason why Monsgeek is including the insulation sheets on the bottom part of the case. Before I start going on in this chapter, please note that all I'm about to say is all my personal opinion, and your mileage may vary. With no foam configuration, the keyboard sounded clacky and thin at the same time. Here, take a listen. Use your headphone if you have one lying around. I found that by adding plate foam, it reduced the thin sounding and rendering the sound to become more pleasant. With additional foam added, it kind of added a little bit of flavor onto the sound, and this is my preferred configuration with this board. I also recommend to force break this keyboard, because I found that there's a slight metallic ping coming out from the case, especially on the bottom row modifier. I'm quite surprised with the overall sounding of this keyboard. The keyboard sounds pretty decent even with no PE or tape mod included. I also would like to point out that this keyboard doesn't sound hollow, especially with no case foam installed, which we rarely get when buying a sub $100 board. The metallic ping is not a deal breaker for me. The force break mod can easily render them down. And if you like the creamy poppy sounding keyboard, the PE foam and tape mod is included to address the issue. On this last test, I'm going to use all the foam included. Take a listen. What do you think? You be the judge on which foam configuration you like the most. What do I think of this Monsgeek M2? This keyboard is a great introduction for those who wanted to try 1800 layout keyboard right before jumping into the higher tier section. As I mentioned earlier, this 1800 is not for everyone. The additional length of the keyboard needs to be taken into consideration, especially if you are used to a smaller layout keyboard. However, it's a blessing to someone who's in need of a numpad. The sound coming out from this keyboard is also pretty decent. It's not perfect, but for sub $100 board, it's definitely something worth to take a look at. For what it is, it's worth it. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.